Right, we are on the home inspection part of our class. So this one's going to be a little bit, this is going to be probably just me talking. I'm going to try to keep it somewhat short and sweet, but give you the information you need going into a home inspection. So here's my view. I think home inspections are absolutely critical. I mean, just critical. You have got to get a home inspection done from a qualified person. Now, with that said, there are different styles of home inspection. So for me, a home inspection, its job should be to identify all of, or as many of the issues as possible with the house, or upcoming issues. At the end of this, I'm going to say you should hold on to your home inspection as a kind of like a honey-do list. Okay. One of the things I see in real estate that causes a bunch of problem on home inspections is how the home inspector writes the report. And I'm not here to show you reports or talk about it, but we are going to kind of go over what's inside of a home inspection. But before we do that, actually, I want to cover making sure you understand what your home inspection covers. So a general home inspection is going to cover, probably walking on the roof and trying to get in the attic or in the crawl space, or making sure the electrical works, inspecting the breaker box, doing a bunch of things. But frequently, you're going to need more than just a general home inspection. You're going to want to do additional tests. You may want to do a test on radon. You may want to do a meth test. You may want to do a mold test. You may want to have a water sample taken, or you may need a water sample taken for your loan. You may want to understand how well the pump is working on the well. You may want to have the property pins located. You want to make sure that we have access. You may want to have it surveyed. So I guess my point to you, a pest inspection. Not all home inspectors do all tests. In fact, most home inspectors do very few of the tests. Most of them will do maybe a radon test. But understand what your home inspector is going to test for, and work with your real estate agent and know the area. Know what has happened at other houses. Is this I would probably test for radon no matter what in the state of Montana, but know, is this area an area where the wells have struggled or there's low output? What is the gallons per minute of the well, and get it tested. Look at your easements on your title report. Do you need to understand your access better? Do you want it flagged? So make sure when you're getting your home inspection that you absolutely get any additional testing that you need done so that you have a full understanding of your home inspection. Okay. Once you get that home inspection back from the home inspector, ideally you're going to go out there and you're going to walk through the house. So I would encourage you to break this home inspection down. So one of the things that I always talk to clients about, and I use the example of cars, understand what was called in the home inspection. When the house was built, was it done to code? Lots of times home inspectors inspect a house as if it was built today, meaning they're using today's codes. So you may get something where the home inspector says this isn't to code, but it was done to code when the house was built. Now, this is all about understanding leverage, because you may have some leverage to get some work done, or may be able to use this to get a price reduction or get closing cost credits. But in an automobile, automobiles change each year, and sometimes they find a better way to do things, and sometimes they do recalls. And so when I'm looking at home inspections and I'm looking at things that aren't done to code, make sure they were done to code when it was built. Now, why has the code changed? Were those recalled? Has it been a big issue, or have they just found a better way to do it? Because there's lots of times that the code changes, but the old way was fine. It's not causing any issues. The houses aren't burning down at huge rates. They're not collapsing. It's just they found a better way to do it. So really understand that. I think lots of times home buyers get freaked out because something wasn't to code when it was really done to code and probably inspected by the city or the county or the building inspectors when it was done and done right. They just found a new way to do it, or a better way to do it. So don't get caught up in that issue. What I would focus on are your big ticket items or your absolute must do. So do any of those tests come back bad? Is your well going out? Is your water supply going to be limited? Are you not going to have access? Is there bad mold in the property? Is the radon high? Does the roof need to be replaced? Where is the furnace or the AC unit in terms of needing to be replaced? Are there structural issues? Like, are the cracks in the cement normal, or are they massively structural issues? Is the house continuing to settle, or is it good? Is the driveway got a couple of normal cracks, they're probably going to be sealed up and, should be sealed up and should be fine, or are you going to need to rip out the entire driveway? Make sure you know those big ticket items. Those are the things you really want to focus on because you may not have the budget to do them. Do you need to replace one window or do you need to replace them all? Is the window seal, the gas between the two panes just need to be replaced, or does the whole window need to come out? So really go through and understand your home inspection and understand, was this done right at the time and it's just not done right today, or has something happened that caused it to not be right anymore, or going to be a huge ticket item? Then the rest of that list, I like to look at as kind of a honey-do list. Like, these are things to watch for. These are things to do. It may be that you need to add a little silicone or a little bit of caulk to an area at the top of the bathtub that the caulk has worn out that maybe the homeowner didn't notice, or you need to watch an area on the steps for rotting, or you need to, this is kind of like your honey-do list, just to kind of watch those things to keep that house in tip-top shape. So on the home inspection, make sure you get a qualified home inspector. Make sure you understand what the scope of that home inspection covers, and then what additional testing may needed to be done. And then once you get that report back, make sure you understand what's worth fighting for and what's not. Now, your agent may talk to you about creating leverage or trying to improve your position. That's fine, but understand what you're really fighting for and what is absolutely important to you, and know your leverage. So that's the big thing. The last thing I do want to follow up on is, at least in Montana, if you give an inspection notice to a seller, the seller can't terminate. Okay, it's on you to terminate because of the home inspection. The one caveat there, and we talked about this in some of our forum stuff, is that if you guys don't come to mutual agreement, if you give notice and then you don't come to mutual agreement by that time, then the deal terminates. So make sure what you're asking for, if the seller isn't willing to agree with you, do you want to ask for something different? Do you want to negotiate more? Or is that seller trying to find a way to terminate the deal because they've got somebody else? Not very common. Very rarely do I see it happen. Most agents and sellers are more ethical than that, in my opinion, and tell you what's going on and what they are or aren't willing to do, or tell you they have another offer that doesn't care about those things. So, know your leverage, know your dates, know what date you have to get things in by, know what's a big ticket item, what's a major problem, and don't freak out. Work through it. Find the people that are experts on that, and you should be able to have a great honey-do list moving forward and really be comfortable with the condition of your house. All right, this chapter or this video is done. We are moving on.